What is up, everyone? So, the Saints have done it again. They have rattled off their sixth straight win in a row, and I couldn't be more happy about it. The second coming of BREESUS Christ was in full effect. Drew Brees had a great game. Sean Payton didn't limit him at all, and it genuinely felt like one of the first games in a long time where our offense has been free-flowing and has had the ability to do whatever they felt like and whatever the strengths of the offense played to. We won 31-9 against the Arizona Cardinals, with the Arizona Cardinals not scoring a single touchdown. They kicked 3 field goals, and that was that for them. And the offense put up 31 points, proving that the New Orleans Saints are a much better team than the Arizona Cardinals, and probably a much better team than a lot of people in the NFL and around the NFL give us credit for. 6 straight wins. That's insane. 5 of them with Teddy Bridgewater, but Drew Brees stepped in and did exactly what he needed to do. But first, I would like to talk about the defensive side of the ball, who did a fantastic job today. Like I said before, there were only 3 field goals scored by Arizona, not a single touchdown. Cameron Jordan had a sack. David Onyemata had a sack, and Shy Tuttle had a sack as well. The New Orleans Saints defense did an amazing job holding Kyler Murray into the pocket, forcing him to throw extremely fast balls. They had a few good plays. I'm not going to lie, the Cardinals did. They were picking us apart at some points in time, getting the ball out fast, playing to their strength, being a fast-tempo offense. But the New Orleans Saints defense played with a beautiful bend but don't break property to it, and I love it. The Cardinals had 220 receiving yards on 19 receptions. Like I said, there were some points where they were completely dotting us up. We have to stop those chunk plays. Charles Clay had a 47-yard reception. It was that one trick play where they were passing it all over and lobbed it up to him, and he caught it. We held the Cardinals as a whole, though, to 40 rushing yards. That's fantastic. The New Orleans Saints defense balled out today. This was one of those wins that we fired on all cylinders. We were doing everything we needed to do to put this team away, and it started early. Chase Edmonds, their premier back, had 7 carries for 8 yards. That's it. That was their premier running back. 7 carries for 8 yards. Kyler Murray had 2 carries for 13 yards, and that was one of the keys I had in this game, was limiting Kyler Murray's legs, making sure he wasn't able to do what he usually does, which is get outside and pick up those first downs, those drive-extending first downs. We did exactly that. We stopped him from doing that, and that's something that the defensive line was very aware of, and they made it clear with those 3 sacks. Those were both all sacks Kyler Murray was trying to escape the pocket from. Amazing job by the defense. The first half started out a little bit shaky. The New Orleans Saints started with 2 red zone visits, 2 field goal attempts. One of them was missed by Will Lutz, a 47-yarder, but he made sure to nail the other one. The New Orleans Saints offense picked up greatly throughout this game. Mike Thomas had a huge day, 11 receptions, 112 yards, and a touchdown, and a ton of happy fantasy owners. Michael Thomas did a fantastic job today. It was very nice seeing him be utilized as much as I wanted him to be utilized throughout this entire stretch. Not that Teddy Bridgewater didn't utilize him as much, because he utilized him perfectly. It's just 112 yards. This dude is literally going to hit 1,000 yards within 2 weeks, and it's week 8 right now. He's been fantastic. He's the leading receiver in the league. The dude's insane. He really is. Michael Thomas is one of the best receivers I've ever seen in my entire life. But he's not the only one that had a good receiving day. No, Michael Thomas wasn't the only one that had a good receiving day. Taysom Hill had 3 receptions for 63 yards and a touchdown. His longest being a 36-yarder. It was a beautiful play to watch. He was wide open down the sideline. Oh, they're not going to throw it to Taysom Hill until they do. The New Orleans Saints played fantastic offense today, and I haven't even really gotten to the juicy juice of things. But Michael Thomas had a huge day. Well, like I said, one of the best receivers I've ever seen. We will never get a receiver like this again. We need to utilize the time we have with him for real, because this dude is fantastic. Latavius Murray showed that he needs to be part of the offense more yet again today after having a big day versus one of the best defenses in the league in Chicago. Latavius Murray had 21 carries for 102 yards and a touchdown. He also had 9 receptions for 55 yards and a touchdown as well. He had 2 touchdowns and 157 total yards. This dude played fantastic. He started playing good from the beginning and closed out playing good as well. Ted Ginn Jr. had two catches for 42 yards, and the second coming of BREESUS Christ took place. Let's all take a moment of silence. The dude played fantastic. Drew Brees was obviously ready to come back. There were no limitations in his play, as Sean Payton stated. There wasn't a single limit on his stat in the playbook at all for Drew Brees. He just let him loose. Drew Brees threw the ball 43 times, completing 34% or completing 34 of the 43 passes. My fault. 373 yards. 3 touchdowns, and an interception. The interception was the only questionable thing I seen from Drew Brees all day. He threw to Zach Line when he was double covered by Patrick Peterson and someone else. I'm pretty sure it was Zach Line. Correct me if I'm wrong. I was up and downstairs a lot during this game. I didn't really get to see all of it, but I seen a lot of it, and I know I was up there for the interception. I might have read the name wrong. Pretty sure it was Zach Line. So I was like, okay, Patrick Peterson is on the field. He's in coverage. Why are you throwing the football to Zach Line, covered by Patrick Peterson and another person? But then again, correct me if I'm wrong. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, again, going back to the defensive side of the ball, showcased why he needs a starting spot on the defense yet again today. He did a fantastic job. Nobody was scoring on him. He was defending passes. He had 5 tackles, 4 solo tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and 2 passes defended, one of which was a shot at the end zone. Fantastic job by Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. The thing that has astounded me about him the most is his ability to tackle in the open field. It's been fantastic. Good run. He had a good run stuff on 1st and 10 in the second quarter, and a nice red zone loss of about 5 yards on 3rd down in the red zone. He's been fantastic. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson has been showing why he was the steal of the draft. I really want him to get more playing time. I need to see him on the field more. He plays with swagger, character. He blends in and fits with the New Orleans Saints defense extremely well, and I seriously could not be happier with his performance. I need Chauncey Gardner-Johnson to be put out on the field more. The dude is insane. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers just lost as well, so that sucks, but let's continue with the video. Will Lutz was 1 for 2, as I previously stated, in the red zone. He missed a 47-yarder, nailed the other one. So he seemed to have lost a bit of his confidence after missing those 2 straight kicks in Chicago, but I think he's slowly retaining it. I think he's slowly getting it back. We need him to be at tip-top shape like he usually is. Another interesting stat is that the New Orleans Saints broke the Arizona Cardinals' 59-game streak of sacking the quarterback. Drew Brees didn't get sacked today. The offensive line played amazing. By the way, an update on the Eric McCoy injury. He limped off of the field, but he walked off on his own power. Odds are, and he came back into the game, actually. The dude's going to be playing after the bye week. He's perfectly fine. Eric McCoy is okay. The only reason I stated that, even though we all know he was playing, is just a lot of people were asking me questions about it after the game, and I was like, he's fine. But Eric McCoy is perfectly fine. The offensive line played fantastic yet again. These dudes do not disappoint. The New Orleans Saints, along with having a fantastic game as a team, the fans showed up and showed out. The sound, I don't even I can't fathom how great our home crowd is. It's insane. They were breaking meters, breaking records everywhere. The Teddy chants, the WHODAT chants, everything was as loud as physically possible. I love that the team showed homage, or the fans showed homage to Teddy Bridgewater as well as they did. It sucked not seeing him out there today, but we got our Drew Brees back. Just hopefully Teddy Bridgewater takes a deal and sits on that bench until he's ready to be used, because that dude is amazing. The fans love him. It's very obvious. There were signs everywhere saying, "Thank you, Teddy. Thank you, Teddy." When he came in for the last series of the game, even though he didn't throw the ball, and Dwayne Washington had a lot of impressive runs, that dude's a beast. Everybody was chanting his name. Everybody loves him. We need to retain Teddy Bridgewater. The dude's a monster. So 31-9. Drew Brees came back and put on a show. He showed why he's still a dominant quarterback. Everybody needs to shut up about his age. Everybody needs to shut up about his thumb. Shut up about Drew Brees, because he's obviously proving you guys wrong. The dude's amazing. 31-9, big victory in New Orleans. The New Orleans Saints go into the bye 7-1 and open up against the Atlanta Falcons after the bye week. Should be a win for New Orleans, because if I'm not mistaken, the Atlanta Falcons are currently getting blown out by the... Oh, no, they only lost by 7 to the Seahawks. Good job. You guys lost by less than 2 scores. Good job, Atlanta. So, yeah. Who dat, everybody? I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have any suggestions or anything like that during the bye week, go ahead and let me know down in the comment section below, and I'll see you boys in the next one. Adios. Expect a lot of streams this week with there being a shortage of videos because it's the bye week. So, yeah. Who dat? 7-1 going into the bye week. This feels amazing. This team is something special. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, adios, everyone. Who dat? I'm ecstatic.